Hello my students. Today I am going to talk about lakes and their classification. In the last class we have learned that lakes are actually some lentic water body, and these lentic water bodies are little different from ponds. The difference comes in terms of the depth of the lakes, and many a times it is the area which is little bigger than the ponds. In this lesson we will learn what is called lake and what are its features. We will also know the classification of lakes by their origin, and also we will know the classification of lakes by their nature. Now the question is, what is a lake? A lake is a very slow flowing body of open water which occupies a land depression. This flowing means the flowing of the surface water due to the action of the wind, not like the lotic water body which is having a flowing body due to the natural gravity of the nature. But here in case of lake, the flowing nature comes from the action of the wind. Many a times this group of water body includes ponds, of course not very smaller ponds, these are larger ponds, and impoundments. There are some other definitions of lakes. One of such definition is a lake is a body of water of considerable size localized in a basin that is surrounded by land apart from a river or other outlet that serves to feed or drain the lake. So here there are some sources mentioned that is surrounded by land apart from a river or other outlet that serves to feed or drain the lake. So here the lake is defined a very wide water body which receives some water source from a river or some other outlets also attached to that body to drain out the water from the lake. So what are the features of the lake? You can see the features. Lakes are surrounded by land and are not part of ocean. This is very clear. Never a lake comes a part of the ocean, and these are also larger and deeper than ponds. And natural lakes are mostly found in mountainous areas, rift zones, and areas with ongoing glaciations. These are naturally originated lakes, and most lakes have at least one natural outflow in the form of a river or a stream. This is what the outflow. If this is a lake, so one outflow is always there, which is in the form of a river or a stream. Similarly, many a times they may have some inflow also. Another feature is that some lakes do not have a natural outflow and lose water solely by evaporation or underground seepage or boat. These are termed as endorheic lakes. So these lakes which are not having any natural outflow and their water is lost due to evaporation or the underground seepage or maybe boat, these are termed as endorheic lakes. The majority of lakes on earth are freshwater, and most lie in the northern hemisphere at higher latitude. So here you will find most of the lakes. Canada, Finland, and Siberia contain most of the freshwater lakes in the world. So these are some features we have come to know about lakes. Now classification. We can classify lakes on the basis of their origin and also by the nature of the water. Let us start with the classification of lakes by their origin. By their origin, lakes can be classified into 5 types. The first one is lakes formed by earth movement. Second one is lakes formed by glaciation. Third one is lakes formed by volcanic activity. Fourth one is lakes formed by erosion. And fifth one is lakes formed by deposition. In the first type of lakes, that is lakes formed by earth movement, we have tectonic lakes and rift valley lakes. You can see in case of tectonic lakes, these lakes are formed due to the movement of tectonic plates. As you know, tectonic plates are huge rocky slabs of Earth's lithosphere, its crust and upper mantle. These tectonic plates are constantly in motion, shifting against each other in fault zones, falling beneath one another in a process called subduction, crashing against one another at convergent plate boundaries, and tearing apart from each other at divergent plate boundaries. So while these are moving or they are sliding, these groups are formed, and these groups in due course of time filled up with water and it forms tectonic lakes. The second one is the Rift Valley lakes. Rift Valley is a lowland region that forms where Earth's tectonic plates move upward, or rift means they are moving away, and there is a rift is created. Rift valleys are found both on land and at the bottom of the ocean. So this is a rift which is formed. It may be anywhere on the earth, on the surface, or the beneath of the ocean, where they are created by the process of sea floor spreading. Rift valleys differ from river valleys and glacial valleys, and in that they are created by tectonic activity and not by the process of erosion. So in both these cases, these are tectonic activities, but in the first case, they are when sliding over each other, then some part moves down from forming a graben, and this graben later forms graben lake, which is called tectonic lake. But in case of rift valley, there is a rift because of their divergent movement, and this rift later filled up with water and it forms the Rift Valley lakes. Here are some examples. The first one is Caspian lakes. The Caspian lake, or it is also known as Caspian Sea, is the Earth's largest inland body of water. It lies at the junction of Europe and Asia, with the Caucasus Mountains to the west and the steppes of Central Asia to the east. The Caspian Sea is endorheic, meaning it has no natural outlets. You can see this is totally enclosed. More than 130 rivers flow into the Caspian Sea. So the rivers only the source of water of the Caspian Sea, but there is no outlet, so it is called endorheic lake. The second is Baikal Lake or Lake Baikal. It is a rift lake located in southern Siberia. Lake Baikal is the largest freshwater lake in the world and the world's deepest lake. So it is a Rift Valley lake. Uller Lake in India, in Jammu and Kashmir, is one of the largest freshwater lakes in Asia. You can see this is the Uller Lake. It is sited in Bandipora district in Jammu and Kashmir. So the lake basin was formed as a result of tectonic activity and is fed by the Jhelum river. Third is the Dead Sea. This Dead Sea is, you can say, this is a salt, this is a salt lake, only the salt lake. It is also formed due to the tectonic activity of the plates. The second type is lakes formed by volcanic and glacial activity. There are two types, volcanic lakes and glacial lakes. In case of volcanic lake, it is a lake formed as a result of volcanic activity. This one. They are generally a body of water inside an inactive volcanic crater. This is the volcanic crater, but can also be large volumes of molten lava within an active volcanic crater many times. So it is not necessary that all the time the volcanic crater is from the shut off volcano, but many a times it happens that the active volcano may also have water for time being on the molten lava within the active period. So the term volcanic lake is also used to describe volcanogenic lakes, any volcanogenic lakes, although it is more commonly assigned to those inside volcanic craters. The more common lakes which are mostly found are the shut off lakes and the crater of the lakes. So this is the crater, or it is also called caldera. Caldera is a large cauldron-like hollow that forms shortly after the emptying of magma. So one of the world's best preserved mineralized calderas is Sturgeon Lake caldera in northwestern Ontario, Canada. So it is known as Lake Caldera, and it is one of the best example of volcanic lakes. Second one is glacial lake. The glacial lake is formed from the glaciers where the enclosed ice is converted to water, and it is encircled by the structures, maybe glaciers or maybe landforms. Here you can see the formation of volcanic lakes and glacial lakes. This is the volcano and this is the crater, or you can see caldera. Caldera, when it is filled up with water, this part is now turned to lake, and this is called volcanic lake. So Crater Lake, as I told you, of Canada is one of the best example of volcanic lake. Then Heaven Lake, then Lake Toba. So these are the examples of volcanic lake. And glacial lake, which is formed after formation of moraine. This is a moraine. What is a moraine? A moraine is any accumulation of unconsolidated debris. This is a debris and unconsolidated, and it is accumulated over time there, and that occurs in both currently and formerly glaciated regions, and that has been previously carried along by a glacier or ice sheet. So this is forming a blockade, and slowly the glacier's ice, it becomes reduced, and there is an exposition of landmass, and this landmass has trapped some dead ice in between. Dead ice are trapped. Over due course of time, this dead ice converted to water, forming the lake. This is called glacial lakes. This Tasman Lake in New Zealand and Velivanski Lake in Pirin Mountain, Bulgaria, and Argentino glacial lakes are the examples. Now it is very interesting. These two lakes are very interesting lakes. One is Oxbow lakes and lagoons. Oxbow Lake. These Oxbow lakes look like oxbow type. So this is what is called Oxbow Lake. So these Oxbow lakes are formed from the rivers, from the meanders of the rivers. This is one of the meander of the river. So these meanders of the rivers later disconnected from the parent river, and this part turns to oxbow lake. Similarly, lagoons are the water body which is formed from a large water body, but later separated by a landmass or a boundary, a barrier from the main water body. So this is a lagoon. Here you can see the process of formation of oxbow lake. This is an oxbow lake that is already formed, and these are the mouth of the oxbow lake which were connected to the river, main course river, and later disconnected with the formation of some of the landmass barriers. And in the first figure you can see the meanders. Then there the water current is very high in this area, and it hits this boundary and creates this course. As a result, here this river extends, and 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 this is also, it is the with a speed it extends, and opposite side of the bank the siltation takes place here, because the water flow is very slow here, then siltation takes place this side. And finally what happens, the river takes the new course this way, and siltation blocks this mouth. Similar situation occurs in this mouth also, and later these two joints are disconnected or totally cut off from the main river, and this is now oxbow lake. There are examples of oxbow lake, and even you will find in different rivers in India also there are many oxbow lakes are there. And lagoons are shallow body of water separated from a larger body of water by reefs, barrier islands, or a barrier peninsula. So here this lagoon, you can say this is a small water body which is forming a lake, and this is separated by reef crest. This reef crest is formed from algal ridge. The source is algae. So whatever this algal ridge is separating this water body from the main water source, and this is now a lagoon. Similarly, if you see here, this is the water body and this is the landmass, and this water body is formed from this main water body, and this barrier island is there. So this is a lagoon that is separated from the main water body by a barrier island. Here also you can see another example. This is the main water body, and this water body is separated from the main water body by a small barrier, and this is now a lagoon. So it is any water body that is separated from a larger water body of water by reefs, barrier island, or a barrier peninsula. Many times lagoons are divided into coastal lagoons and atoll lagoons. As you know, coastal lagoons means these are the lagoons formed from the coastal water of the ocean, and atoll lagoons form when an island completely subsides beneath the water, leaving a ring of coral that continues to grow upward. So this ring of the coral, it grows upward. It is a ring. Inside the ring the water remains. So when it grows upward, it comes like a pond, water inside, and there is a boundary of corals. So at the center of the ring is a body of water which is also very deep. This is called the atoll lagoons. Now we have a classification of lakes based on nutrient availability. Many times we can classify lakes on the basis of the availability of nutrients. The first one is called eutrophic lakes. In case of eutrophic lakes, the lakes are well nourished lake. They are comparatively shallow and very poor visibility because they are full of the planktons and other organic substances. Then again, oligotrophic lakes, which are very poorly nourished lake and very deep, and you can find a aphatic region in this oligotrophic lake. And mesotrophic lakes, these lakes are in the middle between eutrophic and oligotrophic lakes, so they are moderately rich in nutrients. And they also, the water light penetration is it is not fully complete, but still there is a less chance of having aphatic zones. You can see in detail in this slide. Eutrophic lake, this is the lake, the first lake that is highly nourished lake. This is the shallow water. You can see, although the lake is very deep, this depth is filled up with the organic substances, and this floor of the lake is very highly nutrients. Sediments are very organically rich, and this one, the light can penetrate to the depth of the lake. So this is totally a very rich, having autotrophic organisms, the nutrient rich lake. And second one, you can see oligotrophic lakes. This oligotrophic lake is very deep, and this part which was there in eutrophic lake, it is missing here, and you will find a aphatic zone also. You can expect an aphatic zone. And there are thermocline. Thermocline means the depth of the water, you can find a temperature changes. So the organisms you may find here, few organisms, but since the nutrient base is very deep, you may not find many organisms there. So this is oligotrophic lakes, and this is mesotrophic lake, which is in between oligotrophic and eutrophic lake. There you can find the depth is in between the oligotrophic and eutrophic lake, and there is a organic base, and you may find in summer some algae appears, converting it to a very nutrient rich lake. But in winter some changes may come which may turn it to less nutrient lake. And there is a thermocline also similar to the oligotrophic lake you'll find here. Whatever, this lake is in between oligotrophic and eutrophic lake. This is a graph to show you the productivity of different lakes. In the first case, this is oligotrophic lakes where the organic matter is very low. And the second case, it is a mesotrophic lake. It is a medium. This is the graph of organic matter, and here you can find autotrophy, means the photosynthesis, or organisms they can produce their own food. So this is autotrophic nature of the pond. And oligotrophic ponds are lakes are having very low autotrophic nature. Then you can mesotrophic, they are medium, eutrophic are high, and hypereutrophic, if you go, they are very high. So this is what in order you can see the nutrient situation of different lakes on the basis that we have classified as oligotrophic, mesotrophic, eutrophic, and hypereutrophic many times. So what we have learned? We have learned that lake is a very slow flowing body of open water which occupies a land depression. And lakes can be divided into 5 types by their origin, and every type has its own explanation or definition of formation. On the basis of nutrient availability also, we can divide the lake into 3 different types. So this is what we have learned. We have many more to know about lakes. In the next class, we will learn how we can classify lakes on the basis of thermal stratification. So students, till then, thank you.